make a pass. He was supposed to go outside, but saw a seam inside and just ripped through the Kansas City secondary. He exploded through there. He has now convinced me he did run 9.3 at one time in his life.
Big Bob Newton, 78, had a lot to do with that one, the former All-American from Nebraska. He kind of set the scene for that seam for Hunter to run through. It is 1st and goal to go at the 1-yard line. Penalty marker is down. Hunter is in. The penalty being interpreted. There is referee Bob Frederick.
Penalty flag dropped in air. Touchdown.
Touchdown. Penalty flag dropped in air. So it is a touchdown for Al Hunter and the Seattle Seahawks.
And you can do that when it's in the favor of the hometown team. It's very difficult to drop a penalty in air on the visiting team. Here you can see Hunter just with a little misdirection play, which is good down by the goal line to get the middle linebacker moving the wrong direction. Good line surge by Seattle's offensive line.
Efren Herrera will attempt the point after. Out of the hospital and making headlines again here in Seattle. Zorn holding. It is blocked. The kick is blocked.
He was a little slow getting to the ball. You could see he was hurt.
It looked like Kansas City's Art Still. Timeout. 8:56 left to go in the first half. Seahawks 13, Chiefs 3. Michigan's 3rd trip to the Rose Bowl, and can they win it? Well, the granddaddy of them all from Pasadena New Year's Day. Leipold with a low bouncing kick. Who's going to come up with it? It looks like Ed Beckman, and that's who it is. And Beckman, a fine return all the way down to the 38-yard line, where number 23, Doug Long, made the tackle. A 34-yard return for Beckman.
Ed Beckman just runs right over one of Seattle's cover people here. See if we can see who it is. But he puts that hip right on his shoulder. Looked like Harris. No, it's Rabel, Steve Rabel. Picks up another 15 yards. That's what I always dreamed about doing, and I saw Jimmy Brown do it so many times.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Up the middle, the handoff to Mark Bailey. Bailey is hit by Sam Green, 56, Terry Beeson, 58, the left and middle linebackers. Took them 12 plays. They went 85 yards in 4:38 and lead it 13-3. The Chiefs now with an opportunity to get back into it, operating 2nd and 8 at the Seattle 37-yard line. 8 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the first half. Livingston going to throw. In trouble. Running out of there. Got it back to about the original line of scrimmage. Lost 2. Keith Butler on the tackle, number 53. Kansas City ranks 10th in offense, 2nd in rushing in the AFC, and 14th in passing. They're averaging 4.4 per rush. Jim Zorn on the phones, talking it over upstairs, probably with Jerry Rome. Might be checking in with the LA Rams to see when the next check is coming, huh? 3rd and 11 at the 40. Livingston in trouble again, and he's down back at the 49-yard line. Keith Simpson, an extra defensive back, coming over, blitzing on the play.
Well, this is where Kansas City is hurting. They can't line up and throw the ball. They just don't work on it enough. They get a safety blitz. Keith Simpson, who is in as the 5th defensive back because they know Kansas City's going to pass, crosses up Mike with a safety blitz. It's a big play for Seattle.
That was the big hand of Mr. Gregory, number 77, coming down on him there too. Zenon Andrusician, who came from Canada to do the punting for Marv Levy, gets it away. A line drive kick. Rufus Crawford at the 15, at the 20, and out of bounds at the 24-yard line. It was Charlie Ane who made the stop. And when we come back, the Seahawks will have it after a 41-yard punt. We'll let you look at that talented young lady as we pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
You're watching the Seahawks on KING TV, Seattle.
With Ed Podolak, this is Jay Randolph. Here in Seattle, the Kingdome, 13-3 Seahawks. 7:12 to play the first half. Seattle with a football, 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Zorn on 1st down, coming to the near sideline, completing it to Sam McCullum. McCullum shaken up earlier, back out there playing well now. Gary Green on the coverage, a pickup of 9. And a time called. They may want to bring the chains in and look. I think he's a little short of the 1st down, Ed.
Well, that's smart football again. Steve Zorn has done that a number of times today with the quick square out on 1st down. You always pick up 7, 8, 9, 10 yards. You put your offense in a good situation.
Why did you call him Steve Zorn?
You know, I have a tendency. I keep calling him Steve Zorn to myself.
Did you go to school with a Steve Zorn?
I'm trying to figure out where that came from.
7 minutes to
He
play.
may call me Bill Podolak, too.
2nd down and 1. Al Hunter, 1st down at the 36-yard line. May have got the 37. Don Parrish, 61 on the tackle in under the pile, along with 71 Dave Lindstrom. 61 Don Parrish. Parrish, as we mentioned early in the broadcast, having a very good year.
He plays an important spot in that Kansas City defense. That nose tackle has got to be able to cover both to his left and his right when you play with only 3 defensive linemen.
Hunter playing a lot today. 11 rushes for 45 yards and 1 touchdown. Zorn again on 1st down, wants to throw. Pass thrown behind the intended receiver, Sherman Smith, who tried to pirouette up and hold on, but Emmitt Thomas was right there with him.
We've got a shot here of Don Parrish, and you can see what happens in the middle of that defensive line. You get double teamed when you're the man on the nose in almost every situation. You can waste a lot of energy and not get very far, but you have to plug up that hole. Curly Culp, who used to be with the Kansas City Chiefs, who's now with the Houston Oilers, is the best at doing that very thing.
You're right there. 2nd and 10 at the 36-yard line. Sherman Smith at the 40, and down he goes. It was Dave Lindstrom, 71, there to make the play, along with Don Parrish again, 61. Seahawks have played 43 regular season NFL games in their 3-year history. Led by Zorn, they have averaged 182 yards a game passing in 43 games. As you look at what the Cardinals are doing to Atlanta. Atlanta backed into a wild card spot yesterday when Washington was defeated by Chicago. Jim Hart, Pat Tilley, Al Chandler having a big day. Houston has the lead now over San Diego, 10-7. 3rd and 6 coming for Seattle. Zorn's got time, throws, and incomplete. At the 48-yard line. Pass was intended for Sherman Smith. Jimbo Elrod on the coverage. Elrod, 54, playing today at that right outside spot. In those same 43 games we were talking about, Ed, their defense has allowed 182 yards a game passing. That's even up. However, the Seahawks offense is slightly ahead of total yards over that period. Going to have a punt coming from Herman Weaver, the 9-year veteran from Tennessee. Penalty marker down. He hangs it high to the far sideline. Payton at the 20. Payton to the 25 and out of bounds there. I want to say again that we were all, of course, saddened by the untimely death of Ed and Walter Payton's dad earlier this week in Columbia, Mississippi, an apparent heart attack. Bob Frederick discussing the penalty marker. We have 5:22 to play in this first half. It's 13-3 Seahawks. Gregory pointing to Frederick or that was Dennis Boyd, 68, pointing to him to take it back. Take the penalty and go for it. They just might.
Defense, number 24, offside.
Gary Green, the corner, was offside on the play. That shouldn't happen, Ed.
Not in a punting situation like that. And to me, it's surprising, but they're going for it on 4th down in their own territory with the lead they have.
5:22 to play. They put Lewis Bullard, the rookie, the extra tight end, in there with Sawyer. And it is Al Hunter.
Look out. There's 9-3.
And it is all the way. Well, how often you will see that happen. Goal line defense. They need half a yard. And Al Hunter scooted through. There was nothing left. 55-yard touchdown.
You're exactly right, Jay. Many, many times in my career, I've seen this happen. The defense comes up to stop a running back for less than a yard gain. Once he bursts through the defensive line, he's gone. He's in the secondary. And we talked about him being able to run 9-3. Look out, Gary Barbaro doesn't stand a chance.
And he's got 100 yards on 12 rushes now.
And now you can see how expensive Gary Green being offside has been to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Here's Herrera again. Zorn will hold. Well, that one kind of changed things around. The penalty, they went for it. 55-yard romp. Al Hunter, 5 minutes and 12 seconds left to play in this first half. And the Seattle Seahawks now lead the Chiefs 20-3. Quite a run it was, quite a call.
It's the call. You have to go back to the gutsy call. You're in your own territory. It's 4th down and a half of a yard. You're already ahead by, the score of 13-3. One would think you'd want to kick the ball away and wait for Kansas City to make a mistake, but Jack Patera, in a gutsy way, went for the first down and got a touchdown.
A very big play in this football game. Remember, there's going to be big viewing excitement for you on NBC Premier Sports World Sunday, January 14th. Major sports action from around the globe. Wembley Invitational Gymnastics from England. The Muhammad Ali Invitational Track and Field Championships. A recap of the NFL season. And the World Belly Flop and Cannonball Championships. I did not participate this year, but believe me, that is a dynamite feature. You'll see it all on Sports World. Leipold again, a low bouncing kick. And it is finally lateral back to Payton, who is at the 39-yard line before he goes down. Peter Cronin, 57 on the tackle on Eddie Payton. I wasn't able to see who shoveled that back to him. 14-yard return. We're going to show you Hunter again.
It's another look at how a simple little 4th down play can turn into a game breaker. And Al Hunter has certainly gotten my attention here today. I mentioned earlier he's had a tough time getting his pro career untracked, but there's a good way to do it right there.
Ed, we had not expected to see Hunter this much. We were told that Testerman would start and play more, but it has been Hunter. And now Livingston going to the air and throwing, and incomplete as he tried to get it to Mac Lane. The ball hit Mac on the hip as he wasn't quite ready. Autry Beeman on the coverage. San Diego goes on top of Houston. Fouts to Dwight McDonald, 37-yarder. 4:43 left in the second quarter. The Chargers lead the Oilers.
And now Kansas City really finds themselves in a hole. They lined up that time in their pro set. We can probably expect them to stay in the pro set the rest of this half and maybe use it most of the second half, and that's just not what they're best at doing. They're best at running the ball, but they're not going to get back in this game with the wing team.
Livingston's 3 of 9 for 19 yards. He's
throw.
Going for Marshall. He's got it at the 20-yard line. Dave Brown on the tackle. Henry Marshall, the speed burner from Missouri. That makes him 4 out of 10.
Henry Marshall is a quality wide receiver. He runs a post flag here, which means he fakes toward the post, then runs to the corner. Mike Livingston with the ball on the money. Henry Marshall makes a big gain. And I think something that we forget is that Kansas City was third in the conference in passing just 2 years ago. But they have good offensive weapons when it comes to their passing game, and they haven't used them very much this year.
A 40-yard pickup for Marshall, his 26th catch of the year. 1st and 10 at the 21. Chiefs need a touchdown. Reed gets hit. Dennis Boyd, number 68. Boyd, who played at Oregon State. And he is some performer. Fine athlete.
Well, he made a great play there, Jay, and that was Tony Reed on an underneath sweep handoff, something he's very effective with. And Dennis Boyd spoiled it before it got started.
On a wing and a prayer. Well, the Seahawks have done it on a little more than that.
And I'll talk about what I think their formula for success has been a little later, Jay.
2nd down, 11 at the 22. Livingston straight back. They're blitzing. He got it away, and it is incomplete. And is it intercepted? It is. Intercepted by Keith Simpson, the extra defensive back. What a play. Autry Beeman was coming on a safety blitz. Livingston got it away. It looked like a perfect throw to Walter White, but look what Keith Simpson does.
There's Autry Beeman, 27, on the safety blitz. He hits Livingston, but he got the ball away, and Walter White can't let that happen. A tight end has got to win the battle for the football with a defensive back.
Simpson's had 1 sack and 1 interception, and the Seahawks have it back just when it looked like the Chiefs might be able to get something going. 3 minutes and 24 seconds remaining to be played in this first half. It's 20-3 Seattle. Jim Zorn on 1st down. Now at the 5, at the 10. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Zorn out of bounds, run out by Gary Green at about the 9-yard line. Jim Zorn, he played at Little Cal Poly, Pomona. A little All-American. A young man who was in the Dallas camp, and later we find in the LA camp. And he came here, and he has made some magic, Ed.
And we talked about their formula for the success they've reached, and Jim Zorn is the key to that. They got Jim Zorn for nothing. Take Tampa Bay. They've wasted a number of high draft choices looking for quarterbacks and still haven't found, I think, the person they want. So obviously that's one of the keys to the improvement of this Seattle franchise.
A delay, and Hunter goes down quickly as he was pulled down by Art Still. Still making a fine play, sticking out his meat hook there and clipping him.
Art Still, as we mentioned earlier, has improved tremendously, and he just runs right through the offensive tackle and makes a great play on Al Hunter in the backfield. Still has tremendous strength for his size, although he's a good-sized athlete, but I think they're more impressed with his strength than anything else.
It's going to be 3rd down and 11. Clock running with 2:40 to play. We're in the first half at Seattle. Zorn steps up and throws up the middle and overthrows, intercepted. Back with it is Gary Barbaro. Barbaro at the 5, and he is at the 1. There is a penalty marker down. Barbaro, if allowed, it'll be his 3rd interception of the season. A 30-yard return, 1 shy of what would have been a touchdown. We'll check in with Bob Frederick now and see if we can get an indication on the penalty marker that you see right there at the right of your screen.
The interceptor was number 26, Gary Barbaro.
Offensive holding, 76, refused.
Holding against Steve August, number 76 of the Seahawks. It's refused, and Kansas City will have it.
Steve August is the fellow that Art Still just ran over on the last play, so I guess he decided to hold him to slow him down a little bit. But you can see Jim Zorn overthrew his intended receiver by a good 10 yards. Gary Barbaro, who was playing center field, which is what the free safety does in a number of occasions, was in the right place at the right time.
Well, now, can the Chiefs get it in? There is Barbaro playing with a hip pointer, just coming up with a big play. Morgado comes up short.
Boy, that was some kind of a collision between
They were
him
hitting
and
in
Terry
there.
Beeson.
Terry Beeson Cronin also in there.
Terry Beeson, as you see in the middle of your screen, number 58, hits Arnold Morgado right at the line of scrimmage and stops his forward progress. Now the linebackers in goal line situations try to line up as deep as the running backs, run to the hole right with the running back and meet him just as he gets there. Perfect execution by Terry Beeson.
2-minute warning going to be given. And both benches will be notified. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, the Chiefs will be trying to get in. 20-3. Jay Randolph and Ed Podolak. The Kingdome in Seattle. The Seahawks leading at 20-3. Kansas City knocking on the door after the interception by Barbaro. Quite a few times, Ed, this season. Kansas City's had the opportunity to go in, like last week in Denver when Reed fumbled at the 4. Reed another fumble at the 1 against the Seattle Seahawks. You don't want to cough up the ball right now, because certainly if the Chiefs can get the touchdown and go in 20-10, they still have got a lot of things going for them.
Well, I would think in this situation you'd want to go to one of your bigger backs. Tony Reed has had trouble controlling the football this year. That's why I'd give the ball back to Arnold Morgado, I think, on this play.
And it is Morgado for the touchdown. Arnold coming through, and that is his 7th touchdown of the season. A very happy Hawaiian right there.
Boy, he's some kind of player, too. We talked earlier about his heart. If you could take his heart and chop it up and give a little bit to a number of players on this team, they'd be one heck of a football team. You see him get off the ball in a hurry and down at the goal line. If you see that kind of seam, dive, jump, spin, do anything you can to get into the end zone. That was good line surge by our offensive line. He could have fallen in.
Stenerud puts it up, and it is good.
See, that shows you what I think of Kansas City's line. I called it our offensive line. I used to take good care of those fellows when they took care of me.
I don't blame you a bit. 20-10 Seattle.
It's still available at souvenir stands around the Kingdome. Take it home with you for leisure time reading, and as a souvenir of the last game.
NBC Sports, of course, is looking forward to the 1980 games in Moscow. We're looking forward to Sports World coming back your way. Great golf coverage. I'm looking forward to Big 8 basketball over many of these stations in the Middle West. And all in all, you'll enjoy the sports from around the world on NBC. Andrusician, a short kick, and it is Hunter. What a day he's having. Gets it across the 30, out at the 32-yard line. Number 50, Charlie Sanders, for the Chiefs on the play. San Diego now has gone 21-10 ahead of Houston, as Don Woods has scored from 3 yards out. They have 2 minutes left to play in the second period, and it's 21-10 San Diego. Coming up at halftime, NFL 78. Bring you up to date on the scores on this important day, the final regular season of the first 16-game schedule NFL season. First and 10 from the 34. Zorn again using that little Statue of Liberty type situation to Hunter. And Hunter rolled out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Art Still coming over in pursuit. Clock stopped with 1:46 to play, a pickup of 6.
And I hope Al Hunter had an extra bowl of oatmeal this morning, because he's burning up a lot of energy out there today, isn't he?
He's asking to go out. You could see him say, how about a little rest, folks? And number 42, Don Testerman, comes in. You Seattle fans are very aware, of course, that David Sims is not playing, missing his 4th game. A number 7 draft pick in '77, a remarkable find. 15 touchdowns on the year for him. 2nd and 4 at the 40. 3 wide receivers in there. The ball batted down, and almost coming up with the interception, Whitney Paul. Whitney, 2 years as a defensive end out of University of Colorado.
Whitney was actually a defensive end last year, so when he moves to this linebacker spot, when he comes on a blitz like he did here, it's very difficult for an offensive back to block him. He's used to rushing against offensive linemen, and I know from my playing days, when you were a back and assigned blocking someone like that, you did a lot of praying the day before the game, and counted a lot of worms a lot of times during the game as they had you flat on your stomach.
It's your best to keep your head down, isn't it? 3rd and 4. at the 40-yard line. Zorn on a designed run, got the first down. That was a designed play, I believe. It looked like it to me. Dave Rozumek made the tackle, but Zorn faded back to pass and then went right up front, got 6.
And he's back under the center with his hurry-up offense.
Clock running with 1:20 to play in this first half. Zorn goes to the far sideline, complete over there to Testerman. Testerman stepping out of bounds near the 48-yard line, a pickup of 6. Jimbo Elrod on the coverage. I'm going to check downstairs at halftime and see if there is any injury to Thomas Howard, the right outside linebacker. Elrod playing here in this first half, great deal of the time there.
Well, I think the coaches indicated to me prior to the game today that they were going to look at a lot of their second position players to get more experience.
Why not?
I think
right?
Jimbo Elrod is one of the people they're trying to find a position for on this defense.
2nd and 4 at the 48.